Hey everyone, it's Leftovers for Dinner, and welcome to my second episode of Work in Progress Wednesday, or WIP Wednesday. We're going to talk about the project I did last week, as well as my current project. Last week I showed you guys some yarn I got from Knit Picks, as well as a hat that I was knitting, and the hat's completed, so here it is. Started it off as a beanie with a little 4x4 rib at the end, or the bottom. But I think my gauge was a little too loose and I may have had too many stitches going on. It started to cone outward, so it's more like a beret almost when it's on my head, and you'll get to see that at the end of this video. But to compensate for that, I just added a little pom-pom at the end, a little fun thing. It droops down and looks cute, and I'm still happy with it. Let me show you a little close-up of it. Here you go. These are my favorite colors, and you'll find that out with the current project I'm working on. And they kind of stripe really well. I love the feel of this hat. It's really warm, and all around I'm just giddy over it because I have a hat in the colors I like. So you'll get to see the hat on me at the end of this video, but I'm pretty proud of it. I might make another one. The Cheap Geek said that he was kind of interested in a hat, so that might be on my needles eventually. What I'm working on now also has all those cool colors in it, and this right here, let me unfold it. Actually, let's unfold it all the way. This is a pet rug for my big dog Ben, and it's made out of t-shirt yarn or T-yarn. This is going to be a kind of an extensive or ongoing project because it's a little bit of work just to get it set up, but it's totally worth it. My dog Ben, he loves it when I make him blankets and things like that. He really cuddles up in them, and I thought what better way to do that, give him something neat with some of our old t-shirts. So I took some of the favorite colors, cut those into strips, and then just did a really basic single crochet or half double crochet, and it gives you this really thick textured fabric, and since I added all the different colors, it's really cool striping. I'm going to show you how I made the t-shirt yarn. I'm going to tell you right now there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube that give you a little more details, but this is just quick and easy and the way I do it. So let me get set up for that, and we'll start cutting some t-shirts for t-shirt yarn. So I have a light blue old t-shirt of mine laid out on the table. I've got it folded a certain way so that I can start making the t-shirt yarn. You're going to want to make sure that the t-shirt's flat and as even as possible so that you don't accidentally cut it funny. Now some people will actually measure it out. I kind of just eyeball it. The big thing is you're going to want to make sure your t-shirt yarn is all the same thickness. Otherwise, if you try to do t-shirt yarn projects with multiple yarns, you might get an uneven texture. The first thing we're going to do though, we're going to cut the bottom off, and that's basically the bottom seam. There's a lot of tutorials that suggest getting t-shirts that don't have side seams. I don't have any, so I'm just making do with the ones that I do have, and they both have, well, this shirt, both sides have a seam, and that's okay. And just make sure that the strips are thin enough that it doesn't become a problem. Okay. Right, and the bottom's cut off, so now we're going to cut the top. The noise in the background is my little dog Pepper. Okay, and then we just set the top aside. And we're ready to cut. So as you can see, this isn't folded completely in half. It's folded almost all the way, except there's about an inch or two between these seams. And when you cut, you're just going to go like this. You're going to make sure you get through that first seam, but you leave this seam up here as is. And I'll keep doing that so you can get a better idea. And you cut through the first seam, but you make sure you don't cut all the way through to the top seam. And it looks like I cut through a tag right here, so let's go ahead and remove that now. There we go. So this is going to take a few more minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and keep working on it until the t-shirt's all cut up. Okay, we have the t-shirt all cut up and unfolded, and now that it's unfolded, kind of looks like this. This top seam, the part that we didn't cut, kind of looks like a rib cage or a spine. So the next step is to actually put your arm through it like this, and you can see some of the edges aren't as even, but that's okay. You can either try to trim them up right now, or don't bother, and it'll add some character. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. Okay. Right, so let's see if you guys can see that. Looks like a spine, right? There we go. So from here, what you do is you get a sharp pair of scissors. I have this pair now. And you locate one side. Let's see if I can get the camera to position correctly on this. Okay, let's see. There, that's probably better. Alright, what we do is we just cut this right here. Okay? Now that's our tail end. And from here, we just do like a zigzag. I'm kind of going backwards because I'm left-handed, but also because I thought the yarn would be more even going this way. Doesn't matter which direction you take, as long as you remember it's a cross. So, okay. Again, this is pretty freehand because it's not like it's a critical, super special project. I mean, it's special because it's for my dog Ben, but he's not going to gripe if the texture is a little off or if it's a little thick and thin in certain spots. In fact, it adds a little character, and he appreciates everything I make. We're almost Almost done. It might be helpful if it's your first time doing this to get like a sewing, I guess it's like a tracing marker pen. I would use a marker, but that would leave a colored edge on the t-shirts, which might be cool if you're into that. Me, I'm just eyeballing it. Oh, and we're at the last stitch, or the last part of the spine, sorry. So what we actually do is we do the reverse of what we did in the beginning. There we go. And now I have one big long continuous strip of t-shirt yarn. From here, you just go like this, and it turns into a little coil. So you'll probably want to start rolling it into a ball as you do that. I can tell you right now this is going to be a little thicker than some of the places on my rug for my dog, but that's okay. And just keep pulling tight as you wind it into a ball. And this will take a few. So, there we go. Let me get this done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my ball of t-shirt T-yarn all rolled up, and I've got Ben's new little pet rug. All I have to do now is just add it on to one of the ends. It doesn't matter what, since this is pretty, patchwork looking. Okay, and I just do a slip stitch and just start crocheting. You're going to notice that the texture of different types of t-shirts is going to also affect the texture of the t-shirt yarn, as well as the thickness and the type of material it's made out of. This last section of teal was really thready and kept falling apart in certain sections, which is probably why I turned it into t-shirt yarn. I didn't really like the t-shirt either. So covering it up with this really sturdy piece of blue yarn, just the top stitches, might help hold it together a little better. And go. You're going to notice that this project, or t-shirt yarn in general, t-shirt yarn projects, they use up a lot of t-shirt yarn. It's kind of sad how much yarn you can get from a t-shirt depending on how much or how you cut it. I wear a women's extra large, sometimes a 2X t-shirt, like American Apparel type t-shirts, and if you look right here at this green part, that was one extra large t-shirt of mine. Yeah, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rows, that's it. So it's a major stash buster, this little project, and kind of helps you clear out your closet, which is something I've been trying to do. I'm clearing out my closet and I'm making my dog something. So you just keep chugging along. I will say making the t-shirt yarn and working on this project has been a little messy. I've got t-shirt bits all over my little craft table and all over the place. But man, I really like this little pet rug. It's so sturdy and it's kind of cool that I'm making something really functional and it's in my favorite colors. You're gonna notice I like grays, I like teals, I like the odd colors, so yay, I have something, all my favorite colors, but it's for my dog Ben. So here you go, you just keep going. And eventually, after you've cut up a billion t-shirts, you'll have a big, giant rug. Or if you really wanted, I mean, this might make a decent blanket. I'm sure you could do like little granny square patterns, and you know, with just one t-shirt could probably make like 4 or 5 granny squares, and from there you could develop a pattern as well. Not sure if I'm going to do that right now, but I can tell you I have some other colors of t-shirt yarn cut up, and I'm thinking about making like a little basket for my craft table. It's sturdy. I mean, if I wanted to crochet a little tighter, this stuff would actually stand up. So yeah, just thought you guys might be interested in this as well. This is my first experience with t-shirt yarn. If you have any advice for me or any comments as to what you've made with t-shirt yarn, let me know. And here's the hat, all finished up. I hope my camera's got, you know, a good view of it. As you can see, it's a little floppy in the back, but I like it. It's loose, but it stays on my head, and I totally dig the colors. So thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments.